We're going to talk about using HStack and VStack to align our views. As you know, HStack stands for horizontal stack, which aligns using a horizontal minor, and VStack stands for vertical stack, which aligns using a vertical minor. Using this property, we can align the view to the left side of the screen, right side of the screen, top and bottom. It doesn't limit to the top side of the screen. It is basically top side, the bottom side, left side, or right side of the container the view is within. So let's get started. Now, see that I have a text in the center of the screen. So by default, SwiftUI is going to place that view within the body, within the center of the screen. So let's say we want that to move that to the top. How are we going to do that? Right? We can use a VStack and a spacer, right? So as we learned in the previous video, spacer basically creates as much space as possible, and fill that VStack, fill that stack, either a VStack or an HStack. So in this case, if I put a text and a spacer, spacer is going to fill up all the space at the bottom of this text, which means all the bottom of the screen. So basically, the screen becomes hello world. Will have the height that this text will take, this one line will take, and then the spacer will take the rest of the space. Now, if I want to put this text at the bottom, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the spacer at the top. So spacer is going to take as much space as possible on the top, and then the text is at the bottom. Do notice that the system automatically leaves some spaces, at the bottom, at the top. So you should respect these design principles. Basically, you do not want your text to be displayed, within this dynamic island or within the other areas of the screen. So keep in mind there's a space reserved by the system. Now, see if I have, for example, two components, and I want to display one at the top, one at the bottom. So basically, that's the case where I can use a spacer in the middle, right? So here we go. Now, I also want to display a text, at the center, at the left and right. So what are we going to do? Well, it turns out we can use multiple spacers and put something in the middle. So for example, this is the middle, right? So we have a top, middle, and bottom. Oh, well, I do feel like this is a moment where you have the t-shirt, and on the t-shirt you have that, like, I understand SwiftUI fully, and then you design this layouts and okay. So let's say I want to put something at the middle left and middle right. So what I'm gonna do? Well, I can use an HStack, right? So within the HStack, I'm gonna have a left, right, and I'm gonna have a right, and of course we have the middle. Now I need to align them correctly, so I'm gonna use a spacer. Actually, two spacers. All right, here we go. We have the top, we have the left, middle, right, and bottom. So just to re-explain this point a little bit, so basically within the HStack, we have a text on the left and right, and then spacer takes as much space as possible between left and middle. And then we have the middle text, and then we have another spacer that takes as much space as possible in the middle and right. Do you notice that if you have multiple spacers, they tend to have the equal amount of space, so proportionally, right? So basically, if you have two spacers, they are going to share the empty space, and each of them is going to have half of that empty space. All right, so that's how we do that. And do you know that for left and right, the screen does not reserve a space. So if you do want to reserve a space yourself, you can put a padding on the horizontal side, and that will reserve a space. All right, so this also applies. So do notice that using spacer and stack to align views does not limit it to the first view within the body. It can also be used within other view components. So if you are creative about it, you can design any views, if you want to. So we are going to talk more details in the real world examples, but yeah, that's how to use spacer and stack to align views.